Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. I'm back in Canada, so I had to
Woo!
unmute my mic that I had muted for the last little while.
Ah.
We hope everyone's doing really well tonight. Uh, they did not. Y'all want to hear something fun about the flight that I was on today?
Oh.
The
You
seat.
sit next to a baby.
No, the seatbelt sign never came off.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It's fall.
Oh, the
Yeah.
implication.
Constant turbulence.
Turbulence. Oh, yeah, you're not a turbulence guy, huh?
I mean, it was fine. I slept through most of it. I'm happy I fell
Oh, that's
asleep while
good.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're back in Canada, which means that I have access to buttons again.
Yay, buttons.
And
I
yet,
miss-
Sarah, you're so
no
cute.
sound effects yet.
No sound effects yet, because they got rid of the royalty-free ones built into it, so I can't
Aw.
do push buttons anymore. But moving right along, other announcements, shows on the channel. We're back in Canada, which means that streaming's back on the menu. Tuesday night. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, that is tomorrow.
I play Starfield again.
Yay!
Wednesday night, we play Wild Ambition. We continue the really
Yeehaw.
cool outdoor dungeon that I have for them.
Heyo, fun times.
Thursday night, we don't do anything because it's like the one night a week I take off.
It's
Friday
also American Thanksgiving.
Friday night, something might happen. Me and Matt might do a TCG stream if people are unavailable.
That would be fun,
Me
and
and-
that way I wouldn't miss the start to a new arc.
Yeah, me and Matt. if people Americans are doing Black Friday stuff, me and Matt. Hell, me, Matt, and Rose might do a TCG stream.
It would also
What-
give me
how
another
would that
week
work
to do
well?
artwork that I'm
what do you
definitely
mean
already
when you
finished
say
with.
that?
Well, we have a TCG that the three of us can all play together. In the form of Magic.
Oh, so we would do.
We would
oh.
do like our old TCG setup that we used to do on Monday nights before this show, and we would play with. We
Oh,
would
boy.
play with Rose.
Need to do my crazy setup again.
Yeah.
With my camera pointed down and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the tripod out from under my bed.
Nice.
Then on Saturday, Salt and Strategy, Baldur's Gate 3, the return of the Sassy Bard, the return of Calf's Druid, the return of Chad as the most core character he's ever played, and of course the return of Garl III.
Back in the girl
Nice.
multiverse.
There's so many Garls. There truly is just a multiverse of Garls.
And I have actually
Into the
worked that
Garlverse.
into my. I sadly kind of abandoned it because it wasn't working, but no, I just couldn't keep up with the schedule. My November novel writing thing.
That's fine. There's a
I'm going
lot
to
of drama.
explain the reason behind all the Garls.
Oh. Oh,
There-
that is exciting.
Intriguing.
There's been a lot of drama with that November writing thing, so
Oh no.
yeah, there's been some very bad mods on their site.
Oh well, I don't
Yikes.
even
Yeah.
use the actual thing. I just like take it as a concept.
Yeah, I do the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I'm working on my new setting for it, and it's been going very well. Then, of course, Sunday, we are not doing Sunhaven Sunday. I have a singing competition. Sorry, Sarah.
That's fine. My next 2 weekends are going to be
Yeah, well, you're busy.
Anyway.
Somebody's moving to a fancy new apartment all by herself.
somebody's gonna have a new background eventually for everybody to see.
Yeah.
And eventually I'll get it placed up to where I will now have all of my Legend of Zelda stuff around me. So I'll
Nice.
have all
Mhm.
thematic showing
pretty
behind
cool.
me.
The realization that had you been moving last week, I probably would have been helping you. Because I would have had nothing else to do. I've been like, Sarah, I'm helping you move.
And I had a cat show, and then
Yeah.
there was a Disney thing, and somebody's wedding. It's just this
Yeah.
weekend's been once 2024.
I have to practice. I have to practice saying the new last name correctly.
Aw, Rosalie Mauer.
Mauer.
because if I think cat, I can do it because it's meower.
If you say
Meower.
meower, I think Billy's gonna beat
I know.
your ass.
It's Mauer. But I've been trying to like get it right because I'm so used to saying like Rosalie's name as like Rosalie's last name that like my brain's just having to wrap around it. It's a very fun problem to have. It's a very good problem to have. But that's all of our announcements. So time for me to hand this over to the most likable GM on the channel. We have Matt running tonight.
I'm not sure I accept that title, but I will take it and put it in my pocket. Anyway, yes, hello everyone. I am Matt, or Urbanoff at various places on the internet. Welcome you to our 101 episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path, where we're taking this group of students and then teachers, lore speakers, and now they are going out into the wider world and solving crazy problems like improving conditions in a god dictatorship city, and then going on a quest for a lost city in the jungle. It's great. It's fun. There may be faffing about. Who knows? It may happen.
Faffing.
Us?
Enough about faffing about. Let's talk about faffing about. McKenna, introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, my name's McKenna Raytinen, our resident head faffer here at Tabletop Roll.
Somebody clip that. For the
I'm
love
already
of
filled
God,
with regret.
somebody clip that.
I'm already filled with regret.
And
Beautiful.
tonight, I am playing Avi, the Nick Terra Witch, alongside her familiar Agate, the Dwemer cat cub. I'm McKenna Rayar on all of the socials, www. and whatnot. Matt, we don't have a crazy question. You didn't ask
Oh,
me
we
a fun,
do.
silly question.
I was waiting for the intro to finish. Also, for the Americans in the chat, it's time to take the turkey out of the freezer. But on that note, what is your actual favorite dish that shows up during Thanksgiving?
Mashed potatoes, easy.
Now, preface it, are we talking
Instant.
mashed potatoes? Are we talking mashed potatoes with bits of the skin still in it? Are we talking mashed potatoes that's made with cream cheese?
No, I'm talking about just the mashed potatoes that my mom makes, which I think are literally just peeled potatoes, cream and butter, and some salt. And that's it. And you know what? It doesn't need anything else.
No,
It
cream-
doesn't need anything. Just a little
That
salt,
sounds-
a little pepper, a little gravy if you're feeling spicy. But if you make it right, it's just fine. It doesn't need skins. It doesn't need any of that extra stuff.
But speaking of feeling spicy, let's move to the bard.
My name is Zoe, and I've never felt spicy once in my life.
Lies.
Okay? Why is it spicy? Why is it spicy? I go by Zosie Pose on Instagram and on TikTok, and I am playing Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf bard, and she just actually, I don't think it's ever come up, but she hates spicy food with a passion.
You know what? I think it has because there
She-
was at least once where Avi was like, yes, the spice no feel. It was like,
Ooh, no, she's a sweets gal. She's a pastries gal. She's a fruits gal. Spice, not so
He
much.
doesn't like spices?
No.
Doesn't
Well, she
like
likes
ketchup?
spices. She likes spices. She doesn't
There's
like
a difference between spices and
spice.
spicy.
Spicy.
True. True.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to like be like, traditional Thanksgiving, because my stepdad makes prime rib.
Well, I didn't say
For
anything about traditional.
Thanksgiving.
I didn't say anything
So-
about traditional. This might be entirely context
Tradition.
for your own families. But what is a
Tradition.
dish that
Yeah.
you like that shows up at Thanksgiving?
Prime rib or duck sometimes because his dad is fancy.
Quackers.
That is fancy.
Yeah, it's
That is
bougie.
fancy.
Oh my.
Duck is, I feel like, the superior bird if you're going to have a fancy bird at a meal. Turkey
So-
always ends up kind of dry unless you are injecting it with butter.
Hear me out.
Mm.
Get the best of both worlds. Turducken.
Moving right along. Speaking of fancy, we're going to the person with the best hat tonight. Sarah, introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Margaret, and I'm playing Charlotte, the naughty toxicologist. I'm sorry.
Your
This
big
is going
red
to be
cat pictography on all of the socials and the WW dots.
that too. I do photos. I haven't edited any photos recently. I've been a little bit busy, as you can notice. I'm missing some things from my background. I am moving, as we've established. And it's really difficult for me to like hammer down a specifics for Thanksgiving because in my family it's kind of a big meal. My mom spends 2 days prepping because she's a cook of the family, so she makes things from scratch, including the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and the green beans. Like she'll cook and make everything from scratch. I have to say that when I got, and this is going to be a preamble, but sorry about this. When I got sick from a lot of different kinds of foods, my mom has had to assist with making literally 2 meals for Thanksgiving every year. Gluten-free, milk-free options and regular. So my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is my mom makes me food.
Aww.
And I won't get to have it this year, but because I won't be going home for Thanksgiving, but my mom is going to pack leftovers and make me stuff so my dad can bring it over on Friday after Thanksgiving. So
That's sweet.
I
That is
like
very
all
sweet.
kinds.
And last but not least, the man who's already enjoyed Thanksgiving, because, you know, in Canada, sensibly, we have it early. Will, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, my name is Will, and tonight I will be playing Igora. Gamma.
Oh boy. What was that?
Gamma.
So
Don't ask. I don't want to see it again.
It's like
it's
if Cthulhu was a frog.
dragon.
Yeah.
The
I
dragon
don't like
frog.
his eyes.
Would you call it a fraggin?
Call it a
Would you
Gamma.
call it
A
frag?
drog?
Or froggin?
No, it's a
frog.
drog.
A frog?
Frog.
And Choco, the slightly scared of American Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we got
that's
Sarah.
What are you doing with that rosemary?
Avi just putting like her little satchels together. Like, what are you backing away?
Nothing. Nothing.
And my favorite Thanksgiving accoutrement is something that I do called Thanksgiving on a bun. So what I do is I take a pan bun, I cut it in half. Then we put turkey, stuffing, my grandma's pork balls that she makes, sweet and sour sauce from some meatballs, coleslaw, and cranberry sauce, and some carrots, and some carrots, and then we put the bun on top, and you make a big Thanksgiving sandwich, and you eat it. Hum. Coleslaw.
That is
We're gonna
not
move
what you
on.
said.
We're gonna move on.
That does sound good, though. That does sound good.
It's real. It's really good.
And before we go to the intro, I'm gonna mention my probably favorite thing to have around Thanksgiving or sometimes Christmas, because this is when I'm asked to make it, and this is more a commentary on the kind of foods you get at Thanksgiving. I like the cocktail that my family gets me to make called a Berry White, which has white cranberry juice in it, triple sec, and raspberry vodka.
There we
That
go.
does sound really good.
And you throw in
Sounds
some
really good.
It is quite good when you don't miss up the proportions and put a lot of extra liquor in it and then serve that to your guests. I did that once.
That sounds even better.
That sounds like the
You know,
bar on
Garnish
Friday
it with
night.
some frozen cranberries.
Yeah.
But that's all our introductions. Let's get back into the adventure, which we're actually here for. Put that away, Will.
Push the button, Gamma. And we're back. You will see.
Yes. So when last we left our group of adventurers / lore speakers / who knows what their careers paths are taking them on now, they got into a throwdown with some extreme boys, some big old beefy boys.
Yeah.
For abandoning any sort of weapons, just have possibly laid one of the more nasty fights down on the group with their bare fists.
Yeah.
Because they crit very easily.
It is not looking great for us, gang.
But as a reminder, you guys left these guys with some status conditions. The one closest to Avi Avi has his regeneration turned off because you hit him with some cold damage.
Yeah.
The other one, who's looking pretty rough, honestly, compared to where he started with, not only is taking persistent acid damage from the alchemist, but also, I believe, judged based on that icon, has had their mask popped off, which kind of hobbles them for a turn because they are obsessed with getting the masks back on. Because they get a lot of conditions when they don't have the mask on. But last we left off, Benji was face down in the dirt.
Benji.
So I'm going to roll Benji's
Death save? Oh.
8.
Oh, that don't sit right with me.
That is 1 failure for Benji, I believe.
Doesn't he technically have a hero point?
I mean, he has a new hero point, so yeah, he cannot die because if he fails his last one, he can just use it to auto-stabilize. So Benji's in no danger unless all of you die. Anyway, moving on. Charlotte, no pressure.
Waha.
I would like him to take that persistent toxin damage, please.
If you can remind me how much that is.
It's an excellent question.
D8? D6? It's been a while.
I think it was actually just 6 damage.
6 damage. I will remove 6
overall.
damage.
Just 6 persistent damage. However, we're probably going to work about reapplying this.
How did I miss
That is over a 10th of his remaining health. People are doing
It's
math.
really difficult because everybody's so damn close to them.
Sorry.
You're complaining about that. Poor Endures in Darkness has been wanting to unleash a sunlight blast thing, but you're all clumped around them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to just play it by ear and say let's do 3 magic missiles to the gentleman with the poison.
Okay. Now, I believe Bard Song is going.
Yeah.
Did
It never dropped from
Well-
when I put it down? Question mark. Well,
You went down.
You did go down.
You did go down, so it's not on. So you can restart it, maybe. You guys are almost certainly going to take a long rest after this, so I wouldn't worry about burning too much
Yeah.
stuff. But that's 1 magic missile. Are you doing 3 magic missiles, Sarah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. All right, so that's going to be a total of 2, 7, and 4. Are we sure it's adding stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it is only level 1. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
going to be 7.
I
and then
don't
plus
have a
4.
lot of spells.
That's fine. That's a good 11 damage. Yeah, I mean, you are an arachnid of science. Science!
Science!
Blinded me with science.
With science! Which is on Charlotte's.
All right, Avi, you're up. Igra, you'll be up next.
Huzzah.
All right, I am going to step here so I can get both of these guys with the breath weapon that I just got back.
Benji
In a
takes an auto
line.
crit.
Huh?
Benji takes an... Oh, it's a line. Okay.
It's a line.
Oh, you actually were paying attention.
Oh, look at me paying attention. Maybe. Ignore the attack if you could make me a reflex save for both of them. I know that is both their best save, but I do what I can.
Where did their staff go on? Minimized it. Oh, it was over there. Okay. All right, we'll start with the one closest to you.
Yes, please. Ooh, that is a
Natural
critical failure. So they take 76 cold damage directly point blank to the face.
Hold on, how are we getting? Oh, sorry, I was looking at the attack rolls. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, plus Bard Song is down. Never mind.
So 70 something.
76.
Oof, that was a very good one for him to fail because he still had a decent chunk of health left, and now he doesn't have as much.
Yay.
And the other guy, who should note, he has the mask off, so let's check to make sure
So
what the
he's
status conditions.
clumsy.
He is enfeebled and slowed. Oh no, sorry. It's immunity to enfeebled and slowed is gone, and immediately becomes enfeebled one. I'm gonna double check.
Is he not also clumsy?
That might happen on subsequent turns. I will check.
That sounds
no, the
like me
clumsy
every
was from
time I
another
wake
thing.
up.
The clumsy
I'm
was from
enfeebled and clumsy. Me when I wake up in the morning.
Unfortunately, enfeebled is like the
A
negative thing
strength.
that affects strength.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
but I'm so strong.
But
I'm strong.
So he could.
38.
That is a 38. I believe that saves, but not critically.
So he will take.
Half that.
So 19.
Yes. Yeah,
I
it's a
can
lot
do math.
easier to dodge when you see the first guy get nuked in the face.
I'm also. He probably sheltered him with a bit of those broad shoulders of his.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's my turn.
All right, that was a good turn though. That was almost 100 damage spread across two people.
I gotta re-roll my breath
Avi-
weapon.
Avi-
Okay, 2
Avi-
rounds.
Avi as a character has really great burst damage potential, and that is only heightened by the fact that McKenna is very good at playing her.
I appreciate that. Don't agree, but appreciate
Effectiveness
it.
may
nonetheless.
also go up with a certain rework on the horizon.
The rework is out. It is solidly decent.
I mean, better than the alternative
Better, yes, very much so.
in more ways than one.
But they are also now their regeneration is. fun
Yes,
for
thank
both
you
of
for
them.
reminding me. I will put the little weird heart thing on the other one. Where is that icon? Why is there a grenade?
Starfinder.
I don't know.
Igora. So Choco gets their free action. Choco is going to try to peck at the one directly in front of it with its jaw attack.
Oh, I can't find that cool heart icon. I'll just put
20,
another heart icon on it.
28 to hit it. Probably doesn't hit
28
it.
is probably not going to hit.
Yeah, Choco has a plus 19 only, so it's
The AC is 36.
okay. So yeah, that's not gonna hit.
Yeah, and no one is technically flanking.
All right then. Next verse, very similar to the first. There's two lovely friends here. It's sad that I kind of want to let Benji pass just so I can use my really cool new spell on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some mad scientist talk right there.
I know. It's such a cool spell though.
Is it Breath of Life?
It's
No.
reincarnate.
It's a new one called
Oh.
Shock to the System.
Oh, he just wants to defibrillate.
I call lightning down to defibrillate someone,
Jesus.
and it gives them a
They're
fly
properly-
speed afterwards,
Ah,
and a bunch of other buffs. It's really fucking cool. Anyway,
They get reanimate zoomies?
yes, they do. It's great. But in all seriousness, we are going to do a thing. Gamma is going to take some actions, I think. Action the first, Gamma's going to go after the weakened one, the one that's right beside Benji, Matt.
He's pretty weak looking.
Fucking 29 will miss. Not if I roll like 3.
3, yeah.
Second attack. 31 will miss. That was a 10 at least.
Yeah.
Third attack.
Crit fishing.
Yeah, nothing. That's my turn.
All right. Oh, I forgot to get Endures in Darkness's character sheet open. Pardon me a second. All right. What has he got left that can assist here? People are hurt. but enemies are also close to being down, maybe. He already used his chain lightning today, I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
They critically
forgot.
succeeded on the first one and it did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. He's actually just gonna try electric arc, starting with the wounded guy. So yeah, that's gonna be a reflex. And that spell DC should be 32. I'm not sure why it isn't. I could have sworn I fixed that, but we'll work on that later. Guy closest to him, reflex. Just barely saved, but he's still going to take 11 electricity damage. And the second guy, farther away, critically succeeds. So he takes something. The first guy takes 11 damage, which he is looking rough. Tears of Darkness has spent his last action to give Ophelia guidance.
Nice.
Then, unfortunately, we go to the muscle dudes.
Yeah.
This guy, though, is going to try and spend an action. I think it will be just like an athletics check or something to grab his mask back from Choco. 33
That's a
against...
success.
All right. But he does have to spend an action then to put the mask back on.
Yep, so that's 2 actions.
Yeah, so he only has 1 action left, though his little mask icon will now go away. Boop. And he is very offended by Choco's attempt to damage the K-Fab, and he's going to punch Choco in the face.
This is going to probably one-shot Choco.
Oh.
45 is a double crit.
That is not a thing, I don't think.
No, it's not, but it's a double crit. Luckily, Choco has some innate fire resistance, so that fire's not going to be a problem, but the 26...
52.
The 52 damage is going to almost one-shot Choco. He is at 94 hit points, so he's down to 42.
Oh.
All right, then we move on to the other guy who has his regeneration turned off, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm going to take you down, you scaly mother trucker." And he's just going to try and pummel.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
He, like, pulls a mic out of nowhere. "You're going to witness a brutal destruction of a dragon."
Okay.
Like,
I'm just a little guy
Who are
who's
you
just
talking to?
cosplaying as a big guy.
All right, first fist attack.
Little dragon.
37.
I believe that is a hit, but thankfully not a crit.
All right,
Nice,
that will be 33 bludgeoning, and no fire damage gets through your resistance, I don't think.
Ow.
Ow.
All right, second
That hurt.
attack.
Obvi. The big fucking dragon goes, owie.
36 to hit.
Yeah, same as last time. Hit but not
29 bludgeoning. This will have some fire damage go through 6. So total of 35 damage. How you doing?
Oh, not great, but I'm
All right, so third
kicking.
attack. Another
Fuck
36.
me.
30 bludgeoning,
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that downs me by 1. I was at 29 hit points.
All right. So Avi,
The big bad dragon collapses into a teeny tiny.
but that was their
bat.
entire turn. It took an entire turn to take you down. Ophelia, I believe you are probably on the ground, but you are conscious.
Avi, are you still a dragon or is your form revert?
I'm pretty sure the spell ends when I end, so
Okay.
You can shrink them back down if you want.
That's
Well,
so
I got it.
sad. All right, we're gonna get Bard sung back up.
one action, yep.
nice.
Oh, that'll be a +3 then.
+3, please. And then I was trying to look at what I have. It sucks because I refuse to hit everybody who is down. Just won't do that. What if I don't have a lot of single target things?
Really? Someone in that household not having a lot of single target spells? What are the odds? Taff.
Wow.
Wow, Matt. That was bitter.
Sensing some.
Not bitter, just accusatory.
Sensing some.
To be fair, the
Some
amount of times
tension.
that Calf damaged us with their
Angry.
AoE spells in our playthroughs of all the CRPGs we were playing.
I have a feeling that their fort is their best save.
Don't worry, it's friendly fire.
Oh, for a second there, Will, I'm like, what's going on in the chat? And I'm like, oh, Will's explaining the spell.
It's such
I'm
a
gonna
cool
hit
spell.
the one by Benji.
Okay.
Please make me a fortitude save.
Oh, painful vibration.
Pain,
Just looking
pain,
for-
pain, painful vibrations.
39, so it's a success, but not a critical one.
Okay, so they'll take 23 damage.
They shake, rattle, and roll, and there's like a weird kind of like they messed up their back, they freeze, and then the glowing fiery veins on their body kind of fade, and they fall to their knees and like, and they just collapse. That guy's
Oh,
down.
thank goodness. Okay, great.
He has a very dramatic kind of death animation if you've ever seen that in a
Uh-huh.
video game. Someone who just
Oh.
goes down to their knees, clutches at the sky, and then slowly falls. You're like, oh my god, man.
Yes. I did like to say, if I ever took anybody out with painful vibrations, that they just, they collapse into a little Coke can thing, like a little crumple.
I think that's a different spell entirely. I think there's actually it is a spell called Implode.
Oh
it
my
might be
goodness.
5e exclusive, but
No, it's you used it with Lexi.
That's fun.
did I?
Yes, you did.
I don't
You-
remember what Lexi did.
You
Because
did
Lexi-
you did 75 straight up damage to Dakar the dragon god. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my turn. Shake some organs.
I mean, I'm not even. These guys look like they're made of stone. I don't know what they got. Benji. Because I was getting such a critical take on my rolling it, McKenna.
Oh,
It's
now
now
it's
your job to
McKenna's
roll
fault.
for Benji. I am
Yes,
forcing
I
the
hate
buck
this so
upon you
much.
rather than passing.
No.
That's a second failure.
No, the buck has been
Benji,
forced.
no!
The goodest boy falls
Goodest
potentially.
boy.
Well, he's got a safety net. We're going to move on to Charlotte. And then Avi, I'll need you to say for yourself, I guess. Unless someone wants to
Yeah.
do a Baldur's Gate 3 and
No.
chuck a healing potion at Avi.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could just literally
I did-
run around.
I did
Give her
think
one.
about doing that in Starfinder. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, I
Also,
am
Emily's made
going
it home.
to.
And you could run around through Gamma and give Avi a healing potion if you have one.
I can also
She could
just,
just chuck it.
I can also just strike Avi with lightning.
Yes, but
Hello. I had a plan.
What you doing? What you doing, Sarah?
what's the plan?
Okay.
What's the plan?
So, numero uno with directional bombing, I'm gonna throw a bomb at this dude.
Okay.
With moderate acid bomb. Roll to hit.
Even with the +3, sadly, that will not hit. So only
Okay,
the
well, he's
splash goes through.
He only gets the splashed in it, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna take an extra turn to craft a lesser elixir of life.
Oh.
And I'm gonna chuck it at Alvion.
Guys, I was kind of joking. I don't think there's actually rules for chucking healing potions at people.
I
Well,
chuck.
think on your feet,
the
Dungeon
poison.
Master.
You know what? I
I
will allow
am
it because she's the
using-
alchemist.
I am using Pito to implement the elixir of life. Because-
Ooh.
And here's where it comes down to it. I am using Pito because she is 5 feet in a quote-unquote danger zone.
Danger
This is
zone.
Clever. That's
Okay,
so
one,
clever.
I like the fact that you've turned a magic item that I specifically made for you against me in a moment. Second, we
There is
will
a
deal with
healing
the
bomb.
consequences of you using a tool given to you by literal goddesses of assassination and murder to heal someone. We will deal with that later.
Oh! Oh, fuck.
You know what, Matt? Challenge accepted. Because I am chaotic good.
Choices. Choices.
I'm enjoying the energy in the studio tonight.
Yes.
It
I'm going
sustains me.
It's very relaxing.
So, I will, you know,
A danger
I will
spot.
place down a lesser elixir of life. However, I do have to actually roll to hit Avi Avi, I imagine. Or do I just hit Avi Avi, considering that Avi Avi is down and cannot dodge?
Well, here's the funny thing, actually. Shooting at a prone target is actually harder than a standing one. But here's also the thing. Pito is not just a straight projectile, necessarily.
Homing missile.
So I'm going to say it evens out, so just roll a straight-up attack roll. But you are going to get the sneak attack in a way. Yeah, you hit her. It's fine. So roll
yeah.
that elixir of life's healing. 3d6 plus 6.
I gotcha.
I'll take it.
There is a healing bomb ability the alchemist can get.
Okay,
This is
so
true.
it's you. So 16. You get 16 points of life damage
Woo!
to bring you up from unconscientious.
Much appreciated. I can
Say
get
what you
that
will about
very
our party. People don't
scary
stay
X.
down very long.
Nope.
I will take the consequences of that on the chin and tell them I'm sorry.
But since we did a Baldur's Gate 3 thing there with throwing a healing item, we're going to do the Baldur's Gate 3 thing now, and McKenna doesn't get a turn. No. She was just revived. She doesn't get a turn. No, I'm not going to be like that.
Oh, I appreciate you not being like that.
I do like to
Okay.
keep you for it, though.
I've got this crazy thing right in front of me.
He's flexing
That's
over
not
you.
great.
Crawling is an action, by the way. You can only move 5 feet, but it doesn't provoke, I don't think.
I could also just straight up dimension door. That might
yeah,
be.
if you want to be fancy about it.
That might be better.
Dimension door, the bourgeois of spells.
Okay.
Walking is for peasants.
I could also just magic missile him at 3rd level without getting up.
With a +3 to each.
Exactly. Which I think is
right
exactly.
up the loincloth.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh God, remind me what that is again.
Okay,
In
so
terms of, I think it's 64.
for every action you spend for magic
3.
missile, what level of the spell are you doing?
3.
3, I think she said.
So you get 4 missiles. You get. Fuck me, it's been a bit since we've done this.
Hold on,
Magic.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too. Searching. MISS.
All right, Argus.
So I get 6 missiles.
For each additional action you use, you cast a spell, increase the number of missiles you shoot by 1 to a maximum of 3 missiles for 3 actions. And for every +2 levels you heighten it, so it'll just be 1, you gain 1 additional missile.
Per each action you spend.
With each action you spend.
So
that'll be 6 missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 64 plus I think 24?
Yep.
Because it's another
3
4
times 6
per dart.
is 18. Is it 4 per dart or 3 per dart?
4 per dart, because it's 1d4 plus 1.
Okay, so
Plus
yeah,
three.
4 times 6 is 24. So that'll be
64 plus 24.
34 damage. That's a lot of ones.
That's a lot of.
Oh, that is a lot of ones.
Well,
But it is a
That's-
significant chunk of their remaining health for
Mhm.
someone lying on the ground.
somebody kill this thing before it stomps on me, please.
That brings us to Igra, and Endures in Darkness will be up next.
I strike Benji with lightning.
They need to be dead?
No, they don't.
Oh, fun.
It's a
The
healing
target
spell
is
that does
is
a
a
buff.
corpse that died in the last round.
Regardless of whether the creature came back to life or was already alive, it regains 46 hit points, and the bolt wakes it up if it was unconscious.
Hold on.
Clear.
Target 1 living creature or 1 corpse that died within the last round. It's a
Oh,
healing
I was
spell.
looking at the actual text, not the target.
I was
Yeah.
also looking at the target. I guess
Alright.
it depends on whether or not the part of the phrase that died within the last round applies
Yeah,
to
that-
both or just the corpse.
One living creature or one corpse that died within the last round. So it's either action. It's like a breath of life, but better.
Yeah.
So Benji's going to get 46 hit points back, and they get hasted. And they can also now
Nice.
innately cast a 5th level Thunder Strike using my spell save DC.
Nice.
And they move
Which
into the initiative.
I-
And they move with initiative too.
They go before me, which I realize now is really strong with the Magus, because Thunder Strike's a really good spell with the Magus.
Jump
And
starts magic.
it's basically, like, this is a really good combo that I'm really excited to do now. Thank
You only
you,
have one
PJ.
action left? Or
Yep.
you have one action left. I'm
Well,
surprised.
technically, Choco gets their free action. They're going to run over this way, get right up base to base with it.
No.
And then for my final actione, Gamma is going to belly bump this thing while it's flat-footed.
Nice.
For a natural 20.
nice.
Yeah.
So that'll be 49 with Ophelia's abilities right now. I'm assuming a 49 hits.
49 definitely hits.
All right.
Actually, hold on. 49 will crit.
Yeah, so it was a natural 20, so it was critting regardless. So 32 slash R plus an additional, because it has a deadly D8, 12. So that is... I can do math.
I'm waiting on bated breath.
Do 42, 50 something.
50 something damage?
Yeah.
And with that spectacular belly bump, Gamma leaps into the air and does like a fall from the top rope. He's copied the manic energy these guys were bringing to the fight.
If I may flavor it, Matt.
Oh, please do. It is your frog.
I feel like it's like the ultimate from Street Fighter for that sumo wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Name suddenly escapes me.
For Honda. It's like Honda's
Honda.
ult.
E-Honda.
Yeah, where Gamma just like and just pancakes the fucker.
Well, as soon as you said that, I was like, don't season Gamma.
And here's the funny little factoid. Even if you guys had tried to talk to these guys, they would have insisted on a wrestling match. Which,
Yeah.
admittedly, is potentially less deadly, but still would have involved the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, against a casting part? Like,
Yeah, they want to wrestle a bat. You're gonna wrestle a bat, bro, and feel good about that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I like that you're saying this to, like, their unconscious body.
Yeah, Avi's like gotten up, black eye, bloody nose. You're gonna wrestle a bat, bro? That's your goal here? You're gonna wrestle a brat?
A brat?
Her sister was a witch.
Bro.
And they were
The
roommates.
Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Avi is now a brat stall.
All right. So
So funny
here's the
games
thing:
until her feet
with the
pop
defeat
off.
of these big burly boys, the fog around these pillars kind of dissipates, and you guys do notice, in amongst the pillars, like sort of like, not intricately carved, but sort of embedded, there seems to be some shiny red stones in the pillars.
Loot 'em.
Are we sure they're not magical or cursed in any way, shape, or form?
Check them
I mean,
for
we could
magic and
check.
curses, and then loot them.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who wants to do some checks?
I would like to do some checks.
This is how she
this
do
is
it.
how we check it.
Maybe with some discern secrets. Maybe with a little detect magic.
All right,
and
detect
read
magic.
aura.
The stones themselves are not magical, but you do find, resting on one of the pillars, just sort of sitting there, you think maybe one of these guys left it there, you find a jet black knife with fiery veins twisting along its blade, you have found a greater striking, greater flaming kukri +2.
Kukris.
Fancy. I
It's
can't
a really
use
cool looking
this.
thing.
Does anyone want a really fancy knife?
I mean, we could take the runes off of it.
I could take the runes off of it, yeah.
Oh, actually, pardon me. Everyone give me a perception check first, actually.
Oh,
Okay.
I do this with discern secret.
Okay. Ophelia finds the thing, or yeah, I just wanted to make sure because technically you need a DC perception of 32 to find the knife, but you guys did magic, which would have the tech magic would have sort of led you to it anyway, or at least lowered the DC. So
It would have.
What did you guys find? A knife.
No.
But the red shiny red stones are not magical, and with the perception, y'all rolled pretty damn well actually for perceptions. Ophelia, there are lots of rubies embedded in these pillars. Big, fat, uncut rubies.
Gee, it sure is a good thing that I don't have grabby little greedy hands. Igora,
What? I'm funding. I am.
those back.
This is
I will
for.
tell
Those
you.
grippers away.
Put your grippers away.
Hey! This
Put the dogs
belongs.
back in the cage.
This
Museum.
belongs in a monetary donation to my self museum, and you just
Are
keep.
we
This-
sure that we're not pissing off a god first?
Those
Listen,
aren't ours.
I'm
Yes,
just
in fact, those
saying.
aren't pillars; those are fingers.
I look up. Hey, if you're going to smite me, do it now.
A bird poops on you.
See,
When
we're
did you
good.
Become a greedy little piglet.
I'm not a greedy little piglet. I just understand that we need money for our continued survival in this world.
We have so
Endures
much
of
money,
Darkness
we never
turns his
spend
head,
money.
and there is a rather offended-looking wild boar standing by the end
Listen,
of the forest. He turns
here's
around and leaves.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to go. We're going to take this. We're going to take these gems. We're going to sell them to some lovely gem maker. They're going to make some lovely jewelry out of them. Then that jewelry is going to be sold to a bunch of other people in the city, and a bunch of other people are going to benefit from it.
Unless this is cursed. In which case.
I mean, I'm not turning purple.
Well, why don't we at least check it
I mean,
out?
you
check
are
the area
We
out.
checked.
and
We
then-
did the check. That's how we found the magic dagger.
Matt, is there anything sus in the general region? It just feels a little too convenient that there is untold riches.
I feel like this is a reward for killing the naked people.
I'm not asking you.
Okay.
If you want to give me a society check, if you want to give me a occultism check,
I would love to give you an occultism check. Thank you.
In a society.
I'll take. You know what? Let's make it a 33 with discern secrets.
as far as you can tell, this is literally just them creating a fancy arena for them to punch each other in a completely heterosexual way.
Ah,
Gross.
okay.
Wait, why
you
is
know
this ruby
what?
sticky?
Oh.
Well done, Will. You trawled the ocean floor and brought the subtext up to be text.
Yep.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, I was about to say maybe it's okay that we collect these rubies, but I've been deterred once again.
So,
How much money am I making, Matt?
2,000 gold pieces worth of rubies.
Great. Well, you guys said you don't want them.
Dozens of large
not what I
rubies.
said.
Okay. Well, someone can add the $2,000 to our inventory.
Charlotte,
Yes.
Pito has not despawned,
That's
and he has
concerning.
fluttered up onto your shoulder and is giving you a look.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. You have to admit it was a little cool to, like, circumvent the process. I know, I'm sorry.
Gives you a little poke that's a little aggressive in a way that it actually hurts
Oh.
just a little bit, and then it just dissolves back into ink into your arm.
Look. There's times when you need to heal and times when you need to poison. Let's just consider it practice for when, you know... Oh, but wouldn't it be interesting if I cheated? Oh, and you see Charlotte sitting there talking to herself in the middle of these pillars.
You don't
After
notice
Pito's
enters in
vanished.
darkness kind of standing 5 feet behind you like, should I talk?
Did you find something, Charlotte?
Huh? Oh, no, just, how are you feeling? I know Pito kind of hits a little hard, but my assumption was that the elixir did its job before the, pecking.
Oh,
It's
is
like-
that
Where are you
what
going?
got me up?
It's like the ancient legend of the healing rock. You hit someone with them, and it just heals more damage than the rock did.
Honestly, I wasn't sure what brought me up because I was very much unconscious. Hello, sweet boy. Hello, long little man.
That was the Muppet thing. That was the Muppet. Oh.
Oh, I mean, I'm not feeling great. I've certainly been better, but I am not dead, so no
Oh.
complaints.
Not dead yet.
Okay.
Benji has crawled up into a tired, punch-drunk good boy lump and is now taking a nap.
How was the lightning boost, Benj?
He's got a twitchy leg.
He's doing the chasing in his dreams.
Chasing that lightning.
Benji has decided that we are making camp here for tonight.
I mean,
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
I'm pretty
I'll,
well spent after that fight, so.
I think we should gather some twigs from the branches and make a fire.
Is there any way we could not do that?
Why?
I am a little concerned that we are being followed, and I don't want to sound crazy. I just think it's a little suspect that the tree, of which I shall not name, decided to go to Osaibo right after we were talking about it with Ott, and they have all of these ways of scrying and spying and whatnot. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they are not a day ahead of us. And I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying it would be a good play to tell the group of people that you know are going to Osaibu that you are actually going to Osaibu first, so they don't make the proper preparations and they leave thinking that no one is following them. That, to me, sounds like a good plan for following somebody. And I'm just not convinced that that's not what's happening. And even if it's not, they're only a day ahead of us, they still might see the smoke signal, and I don't want to attract people to us. Because I'm not up for a fight right now.
All right, that seems logical enough. Yeah, I suppose we'll just pitch tents here, I suppose. I, however, am, and Charlotte kind of like shakes out one of her little pouches. I am running dangerously low on supplies right now, so I shall walk the perimeter and find some plants that I can utilize as agents.
Oh, do you need help?
The druid of the party volunteers to help.
Yes, actually, that would be really great. And Charlotte just literally reaches into that same bag and pulls out like a little scroll that's like in this tiny little thing, and then she unwinds it and goes, I need these kinds of plants. Just hands it to Endorse and goes, I have the list already memorized, so I know exactly what I'm looking for. So shall we?
Let me know when you're done.
You want to come with Igora?
Yes. Would you like to?
You know, it seems like the two of you have that pretty well handled. I'll leave you be. I'm going to go and
Wander off on my own into the jungle.
take care of something quickly.
Okay, that's
What are you
not
taking
suspicious
care
at
of?
all.
I need to have some time to think about something.
Understandable. don't go too far, because last time that happened,
I got ganked.
we got ganked
It was kind of
as
a bleeding
a
gank.
family.
As a
For
family.
a group, it was a group gang. No.
Group activity.
I
There
gonna
you
move the
go.
conversation along
We
now.
were like a funeral in Dungmoro.
Anyway, Ophelia, what are you getting up to as people are
So, I realized I never got up.
just lying on the ground on your
She
back?
has
Like, yep.
just been starfished this whole time.
Avi Avi, while she waits for Endures in Darkness to be done with herbs, comes and like puts a blanket over you.
Great. I think she's got her little Leshy familiar, her little rose familiar Floribunda, and I think she is just kind of making a little hole in the dirt and
Aw,
settling her in there.
cute. Avi Avi, who at this point I think has spent enough time with Ophelia to like know her nighttime routine, like pulls out a face mask, pulls out the little like pots of face stuff, the micellar water for the
We're putting some honey in the under eye.
Little bat claws dipping into this big bottle and just like flicking.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you
Oh
imagine
my
a
God.
bat giving you like a facial?
It would have to be like both
Would it be
hands.
scritchy? Would it be scritchy?
I don't know. Maybe they have a little cloth or little gloves.
Aw, little
Find a tiny sponge somewhere.
so cute. Little bat gloves.
Look, I
Adorable.
recently watched the evolutionary process of a bat and the fact that they were one of the few mammals that in the evolutionary process said, oh, look, birds can fly. They're so cheap. So can we. Damn, bats are cool.
Incredible. They are really cool.
They're cool.
I
Pretty
did
cool.
just see in LA a whole giant flock of bats the other night. Like
Oh,
hundreds. It was so cool. Oh,
it's my
cool.
whole family.
love bats. Those are the whole family.
Delicious.
He's a bat.
But yeah, no, Ophelia's taking the safest kind of dirt nap.
Ophelia, do you need to be struck by lightning?
That's a loaded sentence.
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
I got this. Igor, thank you though. If you want, I can put a bedroll next to you, Ophelia, and you can just roll over onto it.
No, the dirt just feels really good right now.
I understand entirely.
Jungle dirt is probably
Mulch.
highly mulch and actually
Lots
quite
of
soft.
nutrients.
Yeah, quite soft, I bet.
Low-pilled and
Becoming mulch.
I am becoming mulch.
Become the mulch I
Is
walk on.
anyone
I am
else
mulch.
on the mulch side of TikTok? Or are we just having
No.
this conversation apropos of nothing? There's a trend on
Apropos of
TikTok.
nothing.
I swear to God, this is going to date this episode, but it is going on right now, where it's this little puppy with all of these like glowy filters on it, where it's just like, Milo Botomi has been successful. I can't wait to celebrate mulch giving with all of my lone-pilled angels. Like, it's so stupid, but I love it. Lone build.
That is peak early
know,
meme.
Every
Sisters
day we
of the
stray from
loam.
Tiamat's light.
The mulch gang.
Mulch gang.
The world was a mistake.
We are become mulch gang. That
We
is
are
the
become
episode
mulch
title.
gang.
I mean,
We
as
are
a,
sisters
Sisters of the
mulch.
as a
loam.
fungus leshy, Endures in Darkness is all about it, but
All about that mulch. About that
That
mulch.
mulch.
No rebels.
all right, so we've got team reagents looking through the jungle. We've got team jungle spa day. Igra, you're heading off into the jungle.
Yeah,
Not too far.
Igor is
Get
just
some
going
alone
to
time.
go for some alone and quiet self-introspection.
Want to talk about that at all, or is this just thing
It's
you're doing?
just Igor basically muttering to Gama, being like, okay, so when we get the head back on, we see if we can have a private conversation with her.
You guys
Oh,
left
he's
the head
plotting.
with Snow, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically the body too, I think.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
just to be clear, Gama, we're not going to murder her. I feel like this is important to say because I feel the eyes of the universe on us, not to murder. Cool. Good? Yeah, boss. Cool.
Oh.
Alma does
Right.
turn. He senses something.
What's going to gank me now, Gama?
There's a rustling in the bushes.
$10 says it's a boar.
What's a buck?
A small
It's a Benji
juvenile
buck.
boar comes out of the jungle, snuffling at you.
You owe me a Benji buck. Yeah, boss. Cool.
It snorts at you curiously.
Hey, Gama, can you kill that?
Alma's like, I mean, I can, but should I?
The baby boar?
The juvenile boar?
42?
Yeah, you kill this baby.
Hey, guys, I got dinner. Negro's going to come back with the boar.
Igoro, we have rations.
I know, but now we can have veal.
That's not what veal is, Will.
Why would you kill a baby?
Isn't that what veal is?
Oh, veal is specifically
No.
baby cow.
But it is baby animal meat, so this is boar veal.
No.
Also, veal is kind of horrifically like they're not allowed to walk around so that they don't gain muscle mass. Veal is bad. Don't order it.
Oh.
But also,
That's
Igoro,
depressing.
first of all, all it was a wild creature, and now it's
Food.
Endures in Darkness is looking at you and not saying anything.
that's a baby.
Alright, well, I'm going to start cooking.
Its mom is gonna be so sad.
All right, you guys have now triggered the 20 to 30 wild hogs encounter.
What if you did the lightning instead?
I'm
front
not resurrecting a boar. We're eating. I'm
Why
making the
not?
fire. The
Why
fire is
not?
being made.
Igora. 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 You should use your legging on it. You should.
What is this motion?
It's the Monster Hunter when you're doing the.
Oh, on the spit?
Yeah.
That was a bad rendition.
You're
I'm yelling at you.
And also, the Monster Hunter, the cat folk make really great meals.
And not baby animals.
Charlotte. You and Endures in Darkness are still out gathering reagents. Give me a nature check or a survival check to find some useful plants or herbs.
34 nature.
34. Yeah, you find a couple of handfuls of things you were looking for. One bit though seems to be embedded like on a moss-covered rock or something, and you're really gonna have to pull to get it out. The roots have gone deep. Give me a strength check to yank it out. I immediately regret that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
No, we
what
are.
if it was a crafting check to carefully dig
That's
away
actually
the dirt?
okay. Yeah, crafting check will work too.
Gotcha.
I can scrape with a paring knife to get it off.
Yeah.
44.
The rock is also has a little more give than you expect, and as you kind of like scrape that off, part of the surface of the rock changes,
Mhm.
and an eye the size of your torso opens up, and you realize this isn't a rock. This is something large and tough that just has been lying here so long, moss has grown all over it.
Oh,
Indoors, druid.
Endurus is like, you can't really tell that he's doing this because you're not even sure if Endurus has lungs, but he's taking some very deep breaths. Give me a perception check.
Something is happening behind me. That's what I've perceived. 27.
You kind of now get a full sense of the scale of this thing. Like, you know, sometimes when you're so close to something large, you don't realize what it is because you're close to it. And then you kind of like mentally just take a step back and look around and you get the sense of what it actually is. You see now long snout, what appears to be some tusks at the end, big back, some curled up hooves, maybe a long tail now that's kind of lashing back and forth.
Charlotte, like, steadily with one of her hands just puts the paring knife back in the pouch, and the rest of the arms are up.
Endures starts speaking in a language that you may not be familiar with. What languages do you speak, Charlotte?
So I speak Anadi, Common, Undercommon, Mwangi, and Mizunu.
But not Sylvan.
Not Sylvan.
I speak Sylvan if I'm within earshot.
You are not.
Damn it.
You're also still like, you're a why? This happens simultaneously.
Yeah.
It probably does smell pretty good, but Endures kind of turns his head slightly towards you, Charlotte, and says, I'm not sure. This is possibly some sort of large part elemental boar or something.
Oh, we're so fucked. Delicious.
It might be part stone. It might be kind of plant life. I'm not sure if it's cranky. It's just sort of kind of. It hasn't said anything yet. And then there's kind of this rumbling kind of like thing, and you actually see what almost looks like a stone splitting in half, and its snout has opened up, and it seems to be growling and making some like waking up animal noises. And as it sort of like starts to slowly pick itself out of the ground, it actually has been sort of almost lying in a depression. The ground has kind of come up around it. It's sunk into the ground as how forever long it was sitting here. And now also you see, as it's kind of getting up, there are little eyes, well, little compared to it, but decent-sized eyes kind of shining in the jungle around you now. And now you see there's a lot of boars kind of just hanging around now. They're sitting there. A couple of them are kind of trotting up. There are a gaggle of like little ones wandering around next to them. And the big one kind of turns its huge head. You've seen Avi in her dragon form. This is maybe slightly bigger. And also, the hide of this thing looks tough. It looks tough. You understand why you mistook it for rock now. And it sort of starts making this rumbling sound from inside its chest that almost sends your like exoskeleton trembling a little bit just from the low base of it all. And Endures in Darkness says, it says it's the moss-covered queen. It wants to know why we're in their kingdom or queendom.
The Mulch Queen.
Gamma. There you go. That was nice.
Tender.
Yeah.
Understood. Charlotte just like without
I'm not
hesitation.
in a position of authority to negotiate.
I'm not in a position of authority to negotiate. Charlotte just
You're
without
the lore
question, just like wraps back and goes, all right, one with nature, and just shifts back, takes off the illusion and is a spider form again, and just kind of like does like a weird sort of spider bow. And like, I too am animal, please.
Give me either a diplomacy or performance check. If you were trying to like, diplomacy might be you trying to endear yourself with this show of respect, or performance, you're trying to make a show of being respectful.
Also, thanks for the
And I will
raid.
give you, because
Thank
this
you,
is not.
Elderworm.
Thank you,
This
Elder
is an
Worm.
excellent. This is an excellent move on your part. I think I will give you a rarity in Pathfinder, advantage.
Ooh.
All right. We finally got ourselves trained in some diplomacy. Let's see how this goes. 31.
Wow!
31.
Well, roll it again, see if you crit.
Oh yeah, because like
You have
you take the
advantage.
better ones, you might get better.
29. We'll go with the 31.
31. For a moment, nothing seems to happen, and out of the corner of your many eyes, you do notice the various other normal-sized boars starting to like close in around you guys. But then the mulch queen lets out kind of a snort, and the other boars freeze in their tracks, and they kind of look at each other a little nervously, if you've ever seen a boar look at something nervously. And then they start to backpedal a little bit. And the mulch queen kind of sits back down on her haunches, sort of like kind of in a sitting position now, in a lying position. And it makes some more rumbly noises. And Endur's is like, all right, their accent's pretty bad, but I think I got the gist of it. They just want to know why we're here. Are we despoilers? Are we simply looking for food? Are we here to disturb the balance? This is all kind of being filtered through a druid kind of thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I don't know if you understand common.
They do not. I'm translating back and forth.
Okay.
You might recall one of your party members speaks with animals.
That's true,
Just
but
gonna-
I'm kind of in a place right now.
Delicious.
Tell them we are passing through this area. And I was gathering from... I apologize. Just tell it. I apologize for gathering from its kingdom without permission. But its kingdom is rich in materials that are admirable. And we will soon leave at sunrise.
More kind of grunts and stuff from the queen. And it says, and Derzendar just translates, you have shown deference, and you have the look of someone who understands the creatures of the forest. But before you go, I would request an offering. You get the impression that the mulch queen kind of puts her nose up in the air, and now she's like she's acting a little regal now. She's acting like,
I am a queen.
What are you gonna give me?
Charlotte, with one spider leg, just kind of reaches into where the packs are that are attached to the giant spider. Reaches in and pulls out a little strawberry tart and just like sticks it up in the air.
The
Like
crowd of
flat
boars
palm.
immediately starts sniffing with their big noses, like their snouts. Then the queen snorts again and silences them, but she's got a sparkle in her eyes now.
For your generosity in granting me access to your magnificent moss structure.
They kind of move their head a little forward, and they kind of snatch the tart up out of the air. Makes a pleased little squeal kind of sound. And kind of motions with their snout, and the semicircle ring of boars that has slowly kind of entrapped you guys kind of unfolds, and there's a path for you to leave.
Thank you for your kindness in this. Good day. And just kind of like scuttles backward.
Just as you are about to leave, The queen snorts a few more times, and there's like, they're giving us a warning, some advice. There's apparently wandering these woods a cursed child with venom and poison in its vein that was prophesied to bring destruction. They will have a cute or a childlike form, but to stay away, for they bring only misfortune. For their blood is a curse, and their meat damnation.
Love.
I may be translating this wrong.
Love karma.
Tell the
It's fine,
queen,
I can break the
Mulch
spell.
Queen, I am grateful for the warning, and will take it into the greatest consideration, and we shall leave her kingdom ere the morning.
All right. Gives a nod, and it starts to kind of shuffle back down into its little muddy rut in the ground, and the other boars sort of kind of like start dispersing. Igora,
Yo.
give me a fort save. Anyone else who enjoyed the pork?
Not fucking me.
Oh, that's me and Gamma
Boy.
then. So Gamma gets a 27. I'll figure out if I want to hero point these in a moment. I'm going to hero point Igora's. 35.
You feel like a little like, maybe that wasn't good to eat, but
Yeah.
as far as you can tell, nothing bad.
Yeah, my life can't
To the rest
get
of you,
any
Igor
harder.
looks a little pale.
Avi is pointedly not looking at Igora. She is very pointedly eating her rations away from the fire that she suggested we not light. And is
A cloud
just
shaped like a tree flies
pointedly-
over the camp. No.
yeah, not looking at Igora.
Yeah, so Charlotte and Endures in Darkness return. Whether they choose to share their encounter in the woods is up to them.
You just see, there's more rustling as you all there, and out comes Endures, and behind is Charlotte still in her true form as Spider, just like scuttle, and then stops. And if a spider could, much like Endures, goes,
Spiders have lungs.
oh, that was nerve-wracking. And just like shifts back into like the illusionary of the Charlotte you recognize.
Oh, sorry, you look stressed. Do you want some boar?
Charlotte, he killed a baby for that. Come eat some rations.
He killed a
Oh.
baby boar.
We told him not
Yes.
to.
You mean a child-like boar?
Yup.
Yeah, real cute.
Not childlike, but there was a baby. Very small. Not even a whole lot of meat on it. Igor's just being mean.
It was a boar in the
Igora.
woods. Yo.
Igora. And Charlotte just walks up to you, and one set of her hands is like in this.
Endures in Darkness
need-
is like slowly walking backwards.
And with another set of arms, pulls out a little beaker. I'm going to need you to bleed into this, please.
Oh, sure thing. Stab hand.
Thank
Oh,
you.
weird. It's green. That's new. Ha. Cool.
Also, I'm going to have to ask you to vomit.
No, thank
Blood
you.
of a
You could spend an
baby
action to
killer.
do that.
I don't want to ratchet. This was enjoyable. I
Igora.
yes.
And she pulls out a little vial. And anybody who remembers a certain situation with a gentleman in the store somewhere might recognize the vial, looks at him and goes, either you find a way to vomit, or I will forcibly throw this down your throat right now.
You
Charlotte
can
just, like,
certainly
smiles.
try.
We're gonna roll initiative.
Want
This is
no
how the
part
party
of
ends.
Drink it.
this.
not the horrible fisticuffs wrestling match with the random stone men in the jungle, but no, dude's vomiting. I insist.
Inter-party
Will takes the initiative
politics
tracker off the
takes
board.
us out.
So
Um,
Charlotte just looks at Igra
wow.
and they stare, and then finally just puts that vial in front of where his meat is and turns and looks at the other party. So I met the queen of this particular section of the jungle.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a sylvan stone boar. Very, very beautiful looking. Kind
That
of
sounds
terrifying.
delicious.
No, it's not. So
Not if she's made out of rocks, Igra.
rocks. Anyway, long story short, and Charlotte just kind of like sits there and stares at Igra and then looks over and smiles and goes, long story short, I barely managed to get away without being skewered by a wild boar. But I managed to convince the queen to let us go with my reagents, thanks to Endor's translations. However, she did inform me that there was in her words per se, a child of the forest who was poisoned with poison in its vein. I'm assuming, considering it's a child to the boar, must be a boar child, so I may or may not be a little worried that what Igra has just partaken in is
Raises a hand.
Isn't
The
it
language was
partaken?
also it was they were implying that it was like a cursed child, like an evil child, like basically the boar antichrist.
So I did this world a favor.
Cackling.
I mean, sure. You
And
might
then
have
you
taken care
ate
of
it. You and Gama both ate it.
Ate it.
Igara,
Gama starts growing tusks.
why?
To be fair, Gama's always had those.
Got tusks.
Yes, but now they're bigger.
They're bigger.
To
They
be
got
fair,
weird
Gama's
veins
always had
growing up.
those. Did you say his tusks have feet growing off of them?
Veins.
Oh, okay. I was like, how the
Beans.
They immediately violate Twitch TOS.
Have I heard? Has Ophelia heard anything about any cursed children, or what this curse might possibly be?
This would be an occultism or society check to either
I'm
know something
gonna
about.
make it a
I'm just
cultism
going to
check.
put this out there,
That's
chat.
a 33.
I am under the
I wanna
assumption
hear
this
my
is
thoughts.
us
I'll take the
44
44.
that this is us faffing about.
Yes, this is obviously faffing about.
Okay.
No,
We're
we
just
never
doing some.
faff.
We're doing some RP right now.
Could
having
you
some
imagine
fun.
they write the Mulch Queen into?
I mean, picture, if you will, the giant boar from
I will
from
not.
Princess
Seven
Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke.
Oh,
That is
okay.
exactly who I was seeing in my head. So
Yeah.
brilliant.
Except more stone and moss like.
More stone and mossy.
More elemental than flesh and blood.
So cool.
I kind of like her though.
Delicious.
This close to making the
Rocks. Igara, rocks.
Or maybe a druid creature or a druid character that has a druid warlock whose patron is the Mulch Queen.
You're gonna break your teeth, Igara. Wait,
I don't have teeth. I'm gums.
He's a
that's
friend.
what I just realized.
Yeah. Just like you don't have feet, I don't have teeth. It works out.
Correct.
Exactly. I do
In
like
any
the way you
case-
think.
I'm still relatively concerned about this.
Oh, the society check that Ophelia rolled. Spend a
Yes.
hero point for a 44. So, yeah, you actually have heard in one time you were in a cool kind of bard storytelling circle, and people were trading kind of musical stories and legends and stuff. You once heard of Gesundheit. Well, you once heard the story of a prophesized cursed beast of the forest, either to be born in the birds, the boars, or the fish. And it would be hidden within the woods, and unless it was discovered before it reached adulthood, it could bring disaster to those around it. But there was also the myth that its evil existed in more than just its flesh, and that such evil cannot be destroyed, only transformed.
So now Igora is extra evil.
I'm not evil,
Roll
You
for,
talk a lot
roll-
about murder.
roll
but
for
I never
dark
go
miasma.
through it.
Murder's fine.
Igora becomes the dark urge.
Your feelings matter. Murder's okay.
Igora becomes the dark urge. Suddenly,
Oh.
Avi loses the hand.
Avi's not Gale. How dare you?
A
How
hand.
fucking dare you?
Look,
Who-
look.
hold on.
All I can say is anybody who does not immediately fucking slap that man's hand isn't having fun in Baldur's Gate.
See,
I
hold on.
wouldn't know. I didn't meet him.
Carl was like, "Hey, free hand," and just pulled it like, "Oh, there's a man attached to it." Oh, that's kind of
Aw.
The
I
dark
thought
urge
there
is
was a
just
back
like,
scratcher in my
ooh.
future.
Literally, the dark urge is like, I did not know that was a thing until I clicked on that option, and it was like, ooh, a hand. I was like, whoa!
Dark urge, man.
Anyway, back to the worry at hand, which is potentially passing on a curse through
It's
ingestion.
fine. Everything will be fine. What's
It's
the worst?
Not fine.
What is the worst that can happen?
Dama leans
The
in.
curse?
Boss, I think they're turning against you. Maybe
Yeah,
we should do something about it.
yeah, you're right, Gamma.
What is happening here?
I don't know. I don't. Here's the thing: if we were like fully ready to go, we could take him, but not right now.
I would like to comment that
I mean,
as we are in
respect
this,
the confidence.
I feel like we are in this circle with everybody, and at this point in time, we're all watching Igora and Gamma, and you just see Charlotte to the side while talking, mixing and adding stuff into the blood vial. Just like, I'm gonna figure out how to like fix this
Neutralize
on the
this.
side.
She fashions a little centrifuge out of twigs and moss.
And
She could too.
Endures in Darkness is pulling like a pulley system to make it move.
Over where we are on the map is just like with the stone pillars broken, this new
They're-
elaborate setup.
They're reenacting some scenes from Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
Endures in darkness. Do you want to smoke?
What?
The tent. Do you want to go hotbox the tent with
Oh,
the
with
magic
this-
smoke?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were out offering me some death sticks. I don't really do that.
No.
We don't really do that. Smack.
No death sticks. Only the good stuff.
I'm a little weirded out by the fact that you're referring to my magic spores as the good stuff, but okay.
It's very earthy.
I forget they're spores and not smoke.
They are the good stuff, Charlotte says as she takes another vial and like swigs in the air above his head. Just dumps more spores in a concoction.
Well, they come from you, and that makes them good.
Avi, how often have you been
Unsure.
Partaking?
partaking?
Honestly, it's been a very long time. Like,
Months.
since before Mazzali. Not all that often because I don't want to bother my patron and make them. I don't think they'd be mad at me for talking, but like, you know, I just feel like it's a little disrespectful to constantly be nagging them about things. I just kind of want to see if my like followed versus follower theory has any weight to it. Or also, I don't know if they have any sort of insight on Osaibu. I think that would also be good to know going into this.
Alright, so Avi is gonna maybe go on a little bit of a
Trip.
journey to converse with the patron, perhaps.
Yeah.
what is everyone else doing as you kind of wind down for the evening?
Charlotte has created an entire lab center in the camp right now with makeshift tools and crafts and beakers, and is just like standing there with goggles on.
With the 33, there's a grant waiting for you back at the school.
Like has a makeshift as it is twigs and stuff with a little fire and a beaker bubbling in front of it, and every now and then is just like adding a little bit of something and going, fascinating. It just makes notes.
Hey, let me know if you need more blood, Char.
Will do.
All
right, so that's Charlotte working on her doctorate. Igora, in the face of all this persecution,
Igara's
how do you plan to take your revenge?
Igara's going to go and do the Igora meditation move until we're all bedding. So Gama's going to open up his mouth. Igara's going to crawl in there, and then Gama's going to close their mouth.
All right, you're just before you bed down to your, like, you center yourself and lose yourself in your meditation. In the darkness inside Gama's gullet, there's a little light. You turn to your head, and sitting next to you, looking perturbed, is a small, ghostly boar. With, instead of a proper head, it has like a skull head, but it's all like glowing and ghostly and green.
Cutie.
And it's just kind of looking at you.
Pets it. Oh, I made a friend.
You are deranged.
It seems like cutely annoyed at you and tries to like bite you and then falls over.
Aww, little thing. Pet.
Ophelia, what do you do?
I want to draw this boar now.
Oh my gosh. I think Ophelia's thinking about her old Uzanjati classes, like the storytelling classes, because of the boar story that kind of came to mind, and she's telling Floribunda some bedtime stories. One of her particular favorites about a two-headed grass snake that she once knew.
Your Leshy is entranced. She's got, if she has, I'm not sure if she has necessarily eyes, but they're huge and sparkly, and this is like the child being told their favorite story, and there's just so much love in their gaze. You are figuratively and potentially literally their mama, so they hang on your every word, and you're like, this is what storytelling is about.
My child!
The sharing of joy and love and wonder.
I cry.
I love that.
I cry. That's so sweet.
One of your tears falls right onto the rose petal of your Leshy, and it just sits there like a perfect little jewel.
Oh, she's so pretty. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And now we're gonna move to the hot box.
Yeah. The hot box.
All right. So yeah, you seal up your little pup tent, nice and tight. Endures just does his thing where he just sort of like little boar like. Will now be haunted by the most irritated and adorable little.
It's just like I'm imagining like a death from Soul Eater's mask on like a ghost boar.
It's Cubone.
Yeah,
it is Cubone.
And then very irritated, and it is potentially very evil, but it's also so cute and ineffectual in its evil.
Nyar.
I have a ghost cat. I basically have a ghost cat. This is great.
Fear me. Fear me.
The menagerie grows. I will sunder your soul. Back in the hot box. Yeah, Aviavi, you once again find yourself in this kind of interesting, misty zone that you've encountered kind of messages from your patron before, and you do find another arrangement of stones. And it seems it's arranged in sort of a pattern moving away from you slightly. And the first stone in front of you is a stone that has a rune on it that you recognize as one that means obstacle.
Hmm.
And as you study it, it falls backwards. But revealed behind it is another stone with obstacle written on it, but this one is bigger. And now you see off to the sides, almost hidden from your sight, smaller stones with like an eye rune on them. And as you study that, the larger obstacle stone falls over. But behind that is a third, even larger obstacle stone. But behind this stone, before it falls, you see what appears to be a large collection of stones arranged almost like a pantomime of like a city. And these stones are flecked with gold. But something catches your eye in the distance. There is a final stone falling towards this gold-flecked collection of stones. And this stone doesn't have a rune on it. It seems almost like the stone itself is wearing a gold death mask with a radiating sun crown. And that's all from that particular thing. I don't know if you want to push further in another direction. It seems like this particular avenue of guidance has somewhat been exhausted, but you're still in the space. You still have an open line to your patron of sorts. You could maybe use this time to freestyle.
So to be clear, there were the runes lined up away from me. There were 3 obstacles, each bigger than the last.
It seemed at least the number may not be super important necessarily, but it did seem to be like progressively larger obstacles as you advanced forward on the path you are set on.
You mentioned that there were eye runes along the side of that path.
As you advanced down the path, it did seem like eye runes were now in the periphery of your vision.
Can I investigate that?
How would you like to investigate that? In what capacity?
I wanna look at them. If they're in my periphery, I want to turn so that they are no longer in my periphery and get a better look at them.
While you are in this space of communal kind of minds, this is a landscape of wills and of the mind. To push further into things that were not directly in line with your sight, I'm going to ask for a will save as you try and master this mutable landscape around you with your mind.
Will save. Oh no, I'm going to use a hero point. 36. I will take a 36.
All right.
What?
You push out, and the runes don't really change, but you get a vague sort of like a feeling. You've interacted with a lot of magic users and practitioners in your existence, and you've learned to sort of get a vibe, a feel for kind of particular kinds of magic and for people who use magic. And certain types of peoples often have a similar kind of feel or energy about them. And sometimes you can almost sense things about the person's identity, about who they are. You get a sense from pushing out and gaining more knowledge about these eye runes, you gain a sense of the person that they are supposed to represent. There is a somewhat feminine energy to it. There is the same kind of feeling you got when you learned to sense the presence of the honored elders of your coven. This is almost like the kind of grandma that could be nice and nurturing, but this is also the kind of person that you looked at them and thought, oh, this person has experience, they have knowledge, they have secrets, and they are potentially dangerous if riled. There is you've looked at your grandmas and your great aunts and stuff, and sometimes you feel I'm almost a little scared of them sometimes. The things they can do, the knowledge they seem to have. There's a sense of weight, of kind of respect and honor to this. But you don't lose focus of the fact that this is an eye, this is someone observing you, judging and weighing you. And it's not a familiar energy either, but
if it's not a familiar energy, then it is decidedly not the energy that I would have experienced anytime I communed with
but
the fuck is going on with Kiara.
No. This is very different from the Kiara thing. The Kiara thing was always kind of Mercury-like, very fluid and shifting, and you really had to concentrate to try and even grab a bit of guidance. This is someone old and wary and solid.
Huh. You mentioned that they were grandmotherly and that they were deeply honorable.
This is the way that your mind is interpreting this feeling into a context that you can understand. It is similar, but not necessarily literal. You are in the realm of metaphor and interpretation, so...
Okay. This is also, I'm assuming, not the energy we got from the other scrying lady.
The water sage, potentially?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is much more solid.
Because
there's no
very mutable.
This is not so much an obfuscated or hidden or sneaky energy. This is you gaining almost like a little preview of something in the distance that is wary. Almost like a protector, a guard, a sentinel.
Okay.
Something
from Osaibu then, maybe.
Osaibu.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Can I look behind me? So might be fully asleep. Bless her heart.
She's been so busy lately.
You want to look behind you?
I do want to look behind me.
Give me a will save.
Yes, please. Please. No! Fuck! Sorry, Zoe. And I'm out of hero points. Fuck!
I was already.
I was awake. It's fine.
We apologize to our headphone users.
Yeah.
I make no apologies.
This
That's
is
the
not
only
the thing.
response to a crit fail.
Beautiful.
There are things on this channel that have been far worse for headphones.
That is the second crit fail for these particular rolls.
Well,
Roll 20 wanted you to fail.
This was just meant to be.
This is an ephemeral, difficult to grasp realm. Oh no, we lost Sarah. Oh no.
Sorry.
The camera's moving around. I'm confused.
Sorry. My video went funky for a second there.
I fixed it.
You, for some reason, Avi, you find yourself unable or on some level unwilling to turn around. You feel there is something behind you that you don't want to acknowledge. But as you start to feel the realm sort of dissolve a little bit, something tumbles gently through the air past your shoulder.
What is it?
In a luminescent white leaf. And you wake up, and Endures in Darkness is looking pretty drained. He needs to moisturize. He's like a mushroom that's been in the crisper too long.
And that came from behind me.
Yes.
a leaf.
So we might be ahead of them.
So I might be on to something.
Believe it or not.
But yeah,
Alright,
you
where's
guys,
chat?
you
I'll
guys
go to
all
chat.
get
Where's
a
that alert?
well-deserved night's rest. You can gain all your hit points back. You can gain all your spell slots back. Your dreams are up to you tonight. The ghost boar has dreams of unbridled conquest and domination, and is on its back and kicks its little feet, imagining
Aw,
it stomping
cutie
on
pie.
those lesser than it. Subjugation
My
will be its.
cursories.
So yeah, we're gonna go a little bit longer. I do want to set up next week.
Please.
So you guys continue on, and you spend a few uneventful days going through the screaming jungle. As hard as that may be to believe, you do hear some strange and sometimes unsettling sounds. But at one point, you discover that, oh, it was just a really amorous bird trying to attract a mate.
The god bird.
Nope, nothing like the god bird. This one was just weird looking.
Caca.
It had a, was it a goiter or something you call the dangly things from certain birds?
I've always called him a gobble. I don't
Something
know
like
if that's
that.
right, but
Oh, Honey's here.
Honey Madeline has entered the chat.
But as you guys are making your way on the third day after your encounter, I'm gonna need everyone to give me a perception check.
one
Yeah,
for
I can do
me,
that.
one for Agate. I did pretty okay on that first one. It's 36.
That's a 31 for Charlotte.
31 for Igura. 25 for Gamma. And 36 for Choco.
All right, so I'm gonna say Choco, Ophelia, and I guess Avi, because Avi is the first one that rolled.
Yeah,
Um,
36.
You all get the feeling, and this is stronger than it's been because you've been passing through the jungle. There are lots of living things in the jungle. Something's always looking at you, whether it's like a bird, a funny-looking monkey, but something is studying you. Something with intent and intelligence behind it. The hairs or fur or what have you on the back of your neck, or scales or feathers in Choco's case. And Choco immediately kind of brings this to Igra's attention. And as you guys kind of come to a stop, and all right, hold on. You start kind of looking around. Your eyes kind of fixate on one section of the tree line. Something doesn't quite seem right about it. It doesn't seem like the right color of foliage compared to the rest of the tree line. And as you kind of take this in, a large portion of the tree line moves.
Fireball. I don't have
And
fireball.
we're going to end there as something large and green steps out as part of the tree line towards you guys.
Well,
Interesting.
my friends, thank you all so much for coming to tonight's Strength of Thousands AP. Join us next time as we find out how difficult it is being green. And then on Wednesday, join us for Wild Ambition. Last time, our party had discovered the source of what was causing the swamp to be out of whack, and they went there and found Dee Dee's former house.
Woo.
We'll get to see some more of that. Then on Friday, we will possibly either do Astral Calling, depending on how many people are available, or do a TCG stream. Saturday, Baldur's Gate. Sunday, nothing this week. But then, of course, next week, you can join us again for the Strength of Thousands AP. If you're watching on YouTube and you made it this far into the video, like, comment, subscribe. Help us grow there. And thank you all so much for coming, and we'll see you all on the next one. Toodaloo.
Good night,
Bye
everyone.
bye.